the official rod, not your magic stick. It can only get you what already exists. Casting is evidence that there's fish in the water, but many of us can't tell the difference between faith and foolishness. And now at the time of harvest, what do we get? Cast your nets on the other side. Close your eyes with me and take a ride. Anyway, I was raised in the ways of the Jedi, but one day I was offered to join the dark side. Anger inside, the feelings I repressed could be on my enemies, used as a weapon. But the problem was, I started using it on my friends and my family. Darth Vader, I was kinda knows who worked for me. Get it? Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have faith that you need to borrow, and only follow me when you know that it's Christ I follow. As a Jedi, I followed the master, did what I had to, bust with the plasma gun. Son, I had to fly, android robot by my side. My teachers recognized the force was strong in me, but inside I was longing for a woman to hold in my arms, and I also was hiding some other problems. See, I would ignore the truth and go greater, and using the force and my lightsaber. At that time I was a hero to some people, but inside I was two different people, Jekyll and Hyde. But back to the story, I was fighting off clones, then me and the boss was one-on-one. The dark side versus the force. I used my lightsaber and cut his head off. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have faith, you need to borrow. Only follow me if you know that it's Christ I follow. Christ. One day I was chilling in my room, listening to Deborah. Nobody's supposed to be here, thinking about my father. Then a man comes in my room and he makes me an offer, which I accepted. I'll begin to slaughter the innocent just to get off. I had a woman at that time who wanted to be my wife, but my darkness inside blinded my sight. She ended up dying a slow death because of me, and it's sad because what we had could have been lovely. This is when I turned ugly. I put on the mask and became an assassin. I had everything I wanted, except joy, except peace, except freedom. Then in a moment of urgency, I realized how much the dark side has been hurting me. I turned to my master like Darth Vader, and then I died a few moments later. And when I died, I went to hell. And had I fried, and all I did was cry. See, I had skills and many wonderful things I had accomplished, but in this place it meant nothing until the King of Kings opened up the door and I walked in the newness of life in the full armor of the Lord. I was free. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long until I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride.
Did you hear that?
If I have faith that you need to borrow.
This time you have gone too
Maddie, Matthew 7:21 to 23.
Revelation 20. John 14:6.
In Corinthians 6.
Matthew 6 verse 33.
Philippians 2:10.
2 Corinthians 5 verse 7.
See, what you need to understand is
John 1:15 through 17.
Acts 10.
I study this,
1 Corinthians 1.
and the studies I put into it make me a guru. So I'm imparting to you great wisdom that you should be listening to, observing,
Matthew 7:21 through 23.
taking in,
Philippians 2.
kind of taking in the butt.
14:6.
Anyway.
6.
2 Corinthians 5, verse 7.
Matthew 6, verse 33. Acts 10, verse
John 1, 15 through 17.
Revelation
1
20.
Corinthians 1.
I am feeling crazy, which is praise-centered, not self-esteem centered, not my ego.
Where am I? Where are we? What's happening?
What's going on?
Hello, newcomers, and welcome.
Good.
Can everybody hear me?
Did I hear you?
Can everybody? Okay. I'm the Hell Director. It looks like we have about 8,615 of you newbies today. And
Okay.
for those of you who were a little confused, you are dead, and this
Dead.
is hell. So abandon all hope and yada yada yada. We're now going to start the orientation process, which will last about. Hey, wait a minute! I shouldn't be here. I was a totally strict and devout Protestant.
I'm a
I thought we
Christian,
went to
dude.
heaven.
I'll go to
Yes,
hell.
well, I'm afraid you were wrong. I was a practicing Jehovah's Witness. You picked the wrong religion as well. Well, who was right? Who gets into heaven? I'm afraid it was the Mormons.
Damn
Yes,
Mormons.
Mormons were the
Joseph
correct answer.
Smith.
So now I'd like to quickly introduce your new ruler and master for eternity,
All right,
Satan.
who this? Oh, Satan.
Now you are all part of my domain. Every day in hell goes larger as my minions.
Every new show is still
My
about Christ.
minions.
Well, that's what it says.
I'm sorry, I just can't
2
do this today.
Corinthians 5,
I'm sorry.
verse 7.
Matthew 7, 21 through 23.
Okay.
John
I'm imparting
14:6.
great wisdom
6.
Revelation 20.
based on studies. And this great wisdom reveals the truth.
Matthew 6, verse 33.
Maybe we do not
10,
want
verse
to accept
34.
the truth.
Philippians 2,
1 Corinthians
We must take the truth,
John 1, 15
bend
through
over,
17.
and take the truth.
I was a totally strict and devout Protestant. I thought we went to heaven.
Feel good,
Yes,
though.
well, I'm afraid you were wrong. I was a practicing Jehovah's Witness. You picked the wrong religion as well.
Well, who was right? Who gets into heaven?
Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say to you, if a man looks at a woman, even if you didn't do it, if you thought it in a lustful way, you were guilty.
Let's go. At this time, the prophet Samuel, the prophet, was the appointed judge of Israel. But then he gets old and appoints his sons, who accepted bribes and perverted justice. The elders said, your sons don't follow your ways. So Samuel gave them what they wanted, a king. Saul, who for a short time was standing tall, but then had a great fall. Obedience is greater than sacrifice. All I want, dog, is a double portion of your spirit. Because while you're chilling in the afterlife, I'ma be the man that takes your place. Peeps on the other side, for me they wait. Now I'm parting the Jordan, walking on dry land in my
If a man looks at a
Jordans.
woman to lust after her, he's committed adultery already. In his heart, he presents a standard that we can strive to, but the reality is, it's a standard that we could never live out. So people think what I do determines what I get. But grace says what you believe determines
I'm
what
doing
you get.
miracles and telling prophecies, and people's like, I got the spirit of Elijah in me. Got the spirit. I'm in the ghetto, telling this woman someday, very soon, you are going to have a son. Later on, I'm with a news reporter who is asking me about my prophecy of the end of the great famine. Another time, my army surrounded us with cannons. My servant was terrified, so the Lord I am asking, Lord, to open up his eyes, so he can realize that reality is more than what our senses can perceive. Keep your eyes on the invisible. King Saul gets a word from Samuel. The Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you and given
But
it
grace
to.
says what you believe determines what you get.
Yo, hear me out.
Because grace is a system that's based on faith. No man comes to me unless the Father draw him. It is God who is at work in you to give you the desire and to do, to accomplish.
When Samuel
his
died,
good
Israel lamented. David rose and went down to the wilderness. King Saul is jealous and hating on David because we saw it run from David stood up to and defeated. This happens all the time in life. Instead of me boldly stepping up to the plate, I'll just make excuses, jealousy, and hate. True. But anyway, let's get to the origination of the United Nations and its correlations with the Great Tribulations, Book of Revelations, the 666 computer chip implantation. Is it evolution or abomination to be a 2.0 transhuman? Elijah was caught up in a world when the bones of Elijah give life to a dead man. When you become resurrected, it's divine intervention, and you are given the measure of faith, the fruit of the Spirit, ninefold. We forget the past and press on toward the goal. Press on. These false prophets keep inviting me to the Gospels, which are enticing, and they say they way at the path to enlightenment. Man is quick to say that his faith is truth, and what you believe in is really a cult. Because we all got our pagan roots and skeletons in the closet, but we're quick to talk about yours. So godly men of peace are always at war with themselves and each other. The world's governed by religious rulers.
It's the work of God's redemptive, sacrificial, and unconditional love for. Teacher, this woman has been caught in the act of adultery. The law says to stone her. What does grace say? You see, grace doesn't just give you protection and dignity and forgiveness and all of the wonderful promises of God's presence. Grace also makes a demand on how you live. And those who don't understand that cover up. They say as though it's a menu.
Now, I'll tell you the story of a king. He was a great king. So great, it was unbelievable. But he fell hard, like many great men who were blinded by love or lust. What's the difference? Ask John the Baptist. Then ask Samson. Then ask the ever-wise Solomon. Ask Zeus and other angels. Why you boning humans? Y'all don't hear me though. These are the chronicles of the King David. Every time he would swing Excalibur, he would bring victory, and the groupies would sing that shit. King Saul killed his thousands, but David killed 10,000s. David is skilled at archery, swordsmanship, and he studies alchemy. All that. In his spare time, he writes poetry, the Psalms. He is very strong, handsome, and wise. But before we get deep, you need to realize, take a pause. It all comes from above. When his clear screen opened up, true. He slaying dragons, demons, knights, sorcerers, wyverns, warriors, witches, or whatever you put in front of him. Basically, my best advice to you is don't fuck with him. That nigga murdered David, never trusted him. But in the beginning, he knew he had to run what he had. One morning, David and the 12 knights to the round table got prepared for the fight. He first goes to the oracle for knowledge. After he gives her some silver coins, she tells him, you will have victory after victory, but your defeat will come by a woman that you won't even get a kiss from. All you gon' get is a wish. He stormed out in anger after this with the Excalibur blade in his fist. That night they fought off wyverns and orcs. Then later on they fighting men with the sword. The 12 knights of the round table loved the battle. Then after the victory we bring it home, the tabernacle. David knows one day he'll be the king of the castle, but for now he's just doing whatever he has to. A man like this is easy to adore, but the problem is he's always at war with somebody or maybe himself. The truth is he really just needs help. This is why he's not afraid to lose his life in a war with the Philistines and the Amalekites. Ready to die. He doesn't like her murder teaches his wife Bathsheba about magic. She could have been a skilled alchemist, but instead it's with the devil she dances. The sorcery that she practices began with the Druids in Atlantis. But of course it advances because men love taking chances. The tree of life, the magnus opus, the books of forbidden knowledge are open. The philosopher's stone David is molding to give hope to those who are hopeless. Myrna's always known this. He's probably the only one focused. In this situation, his unknown goals remain unchanging. But now David is on the throne, giving praises to Jehovah Shalom. Writing poem after poem and puffing on Mary J all day long. See, Myrna has that ill magic herb that has served King David as he writes the word. And in his writings, he'll prophesy about the son of David, the sun god who is dedicated. But nigga dances butt naked in public places, giving Jah praises. The wise women stare at his grave and act disgusted, but know if they played with, he would give them more pleasure than they ever had ever. So they run back to what they know, because the truth is unbelievable. King David is a great writer, a nigga who will walk with you through hellfire with you and back, and have you back. And if you got his, he's appreciating that. Back to the story, Myrna using Bathsheba to do his will. She doesn't even know she's a pawn. She don't realize that she is under his spell. The queen realized her actions helped the fall of the king, but she doesn't give a damn at all. She's the type that likes to play games with niggas, but hate when niggas play games with her. That's why she got into sorcery. That's why her spells could torment her enemies. The king would cry to her for help, and she'd be like, fuck you nigga, go help yourself. The king always bore full responsibility, but really didn't have the ability to bear the weight. So a killing spree began to hide this iniquity. On the outside it looks like victory after victory, but on the inside it's the misery. Bring his gray hair down to the grave where blood was the last words that David said. The knights of the round table turned on him, and his son Absalom wanted David dead. So they all followed Myrna's plan, and David's no longer the king of the land. King David is anointed and
have to have self-discipline. The key to achieving your vision is discipline. Proverbs 29, where there is no vision, the people perish. Where there is no vision, people throw off restraint. That's what that word perish means. In other words, where there is no revelation of the future, people throw off self-discipline. In essence, vision is the source of discipline. Discipline is the root of leadership. A disciplined person naturally begins to attract people because
nobody is ready for Oscar. Take these streets of life, put them in your pipe and smoke them. I wake up in the morning, watch porn all day long, getting high. Wasted money and time. Now what I used to do, I do no more. I live a new life. So now instead of Darcy Dose and Vanessa Very Cruz, I kiss your hand and I tell you that I love you. And do we dance? Doing the two-step, the room by the moonwalk like Michael Jackson. You told me that I'm a beautiful man who is generous and provides that real Latin passion. Men changed by desperation or inspiration. In life we all need affirmation and quality relationship, because all relationships are mind and life changing. All relationships are based on trust. All relationships need to grow. The objective is for all members to get better, whether the movement is fast or slow. It's time to analyze who you dance with, because who you dance with you are taking a chance with. I remember begging, taking and asking, can I just have this one chance? So I gave the dice a roll, thinking I was in control, but man rolled the dice and God controls the outcome. I remember not liking the things I do because I didn't do it like this one or that one. Dan Lee, Stevie Wonder, Stephen and Levi, Errol Garner. Even when I had no skills, my teacher used to tell me nobody does art like me. I couldn't see it until I met Marissa, Caitlin, Mr. Fogler, Stephanie. These people would constantly argue with me. See, I was looking at the man that I was while they was looking at the man that I could be. And I don't know how you crazy ladies saw what you saw, but I wanna thank you all. I could talk about Mrs. Gomez and Dr. Jackson, but I got more things to talk about when I'm rapping. We're dancing naked to the fire by the drums and telling stories to the rising of the sun. Yeah, I know what it's like to be an addict. I be so scared you don't even want to have sex. I know what it's like to be hopeless and to live life in misery. And I know what it's like to have no money and nobody and have all your dreams crushed continually. How do you change your mind when it needs changing? How do you uninstall it and install a new program? Even when I delete a file, it is still there, and my hard drive hidden somewhere. The hardest thing to do in the world, literally, is no matter what, never give up on your dream. I used to dream about standing in front of you. Now look at me, I'm standing in front of you. I used to dream about telling you the truth. Now I'm standing in front of you, telling you the truth.
And what it did in your life is getting risen. You hear the mermaid singing throughout the album. The tornado, you are not ready for Oscar. The black samurai, come on and call my name. You can either lead change or be led by change. I remember when I used to tell my mama that she's gonna live long and watch me become successful, and she would eat all the fruits of that success. She told me by me she will always be impressed. I didn't have the wisdom to let go, so I said it's my heart I'm going to follow. Was I being wise? Was I being a fool? It doesn't matter now, because now I got you. Then my teddy bears named Black and Koala went outside, danced and picked flowers. The scene was oh so pretty. The birds sing love songs to you, the dogs play with the kitties. I remember like sick Rick, I was upset and upset until I figured out ways to make myself look better. When you start looking better on the inside, you start looking way better on the outside. Cause now I got the money and I got the honey. But you know what I got, which is more important to me? Something that I can't explain, the food that I eat. Someone Turner also doodle. I have many things that make me beautiful and attractive. So let's continue. You took my hand and I led you to the mothership. We sang a song and it was something like this. I am God, you are God. I am the devil, you are the devil. Yes, there's nude, but it's fire to the drums and tell stories to the rising of the sun.
Discipline that they put themselves through. If you do the same thing as a person, people will then begin to believe what you say. Your very life of discipline creates trust. If you remain consistent and disciplined in your life, you'll find people will come just to watch you, and they'll want to actually pay to watch you. Your destiny dictates your decisions. If someone offers you something and it doesn't collaborate in its unity with your vision, it's easy to say no. See, but without a vision, it's tough for you to refuse things. Stress comes from not knowing what to do. This is no time for experimentation. This is a time for intentional living. You've got to know where you're going now. This is too late to take detours and go through.
Instead of wondering if the Lord is a racist murderer,
He is.
praise Allah in His sanctuaries and mighty firmament. For His mighty acts according to His greatness. Praise Him with the sound of the Les Paul guitar.
That's right.
Encourage while PC3. Praise Him with the sampler. Native instrument software. Praise Him with the mic. Let all that have breath praise the one true God. Now, it's been proven that sexual repression makes one angry, depressed, suicidal, to say the least.
Suicidal.
It's God's will, but it's God's will. The devil made me do it. But the Bible gives account of Allah forcing His will on people, making them do things, and later on judging them for obeying His will. What a mighty God we serve.
What a mighty
He's done
God
so much
we serve.
for me in my life. I have to praise Him with all I can.
Praise Him.
Sometimes I read the Bible like, damn Lord, that's effed up. Word, better them than me. Many are called, but few are chosen. Even though you obey, you still go. To that place it don't get cold. Sorry son, you have the right clothing. The truth in life is unfolding.